Welcome to Breaking Barriers, Transforming Customer Service for Black-Owned Businesses with a Rise in U.S. Black Chambers, Inc. Now, I'm Philip W. Dunn, the Program Manager and Chamber Engagement Leader with U.S. Black Chambers, Inc., affectionately known as the global voice of Black businesses. Now, on behalf of our President, Ron Busby Sr., our board, our chambers, and our staff, I want to thank you for zooming in today to learn more about our corporate partner, Arise. And you'll learn more about their insight into customer service and customer experiences. And you'll uncover online customer experience secrets and best practices to grow your small business from good to great. Now, at USBC, we want to ensure that every opportunity is given for our businesses, regardless of size, regardless of membership, to have the right training, information, and resources to help you grow and scale your businesses. Now, today's panel is an excellent and exciting opportunity for our small businesses who partner with other businesses and all of our small businesses in general to leverage along with other content from this program and improve your business customer experience processes. Now, as you know, exceptional customer service seems to be a rarity across industries, regardless of the owner's racial background. However, Black-owned businesses often face heightened scrutiny, and they're seldom afforded the leniency granted to their non-Black counterparts in the event of an error. Now, shockingly, a staggering 86% of Black-owned business owners feel their enterprises endure harsher judgment compared to non-Black businesses. So this disparity in treatment, it denies Black-owned businesses the opportunity to redeem themselves sometimes. So ultimately, this impacts their financial performance adversely. Now, we're excited that you decided to join us for this engaging webinar featuring experts from Arise, a leading customer experience management provider. Now, they're going to share some invaluable insights and best practices in customer service support, and want to make sure that you all pay attention and explore the different strategies to enhance customer satisfaction, optimize operational efficiency, and leverage innovative technology to drive growth. In the next hour, you're going to learn and discover some simple but meaningful ways to deliver exceptional customer experiences and stay ahead in today's competitive landscape. Now, I don't want you to miss this opportunity to gain actionable tips and resources to elevate your business's customer service game. So before we begin, I want you to drop your name, your business name, your first name, last name into the chat so that we can record your attendance. And if you're a chamber member, please make sure to drop your chamber name into the chat as well. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our moderator who will introduce today's panel. Angela Bowie is the VP of Public Policy for Arise. Now, Angela, as the VP of Public Policy at Arise, she amplifies the voices of their service partners among policymakers and other key stakeholders. Now, she has over 25 years of experience advocating for a wide range of legislative and regulatory issues on the federal, state, and local level. Now, prior to Arise, Angela was a public policy manager for another company where she oversaw legislative and regulatory affairs in 7 states. Prior to that, Angela served as senior policy advisor for Philadelphia City Council. There, she managed a substantial legislative portfolio for their members. Now, she also headed government affairs for the Greater Philadelphia Association of Realtors, advocating for real estate professionals and private property rights before elected officials. Now, Angela also spent several years as a contract lobbyist, first as a senior associate for a leading government relations firm, and later as a consultant for several nonprofits and corporations. Now, in these roles, she secured tens of millions in state operating and capital funds for child care, emergency management, chronic disease prevention programs, and critical upgrades to aging facilities. Now, a significant portion of Angela's career has been spent helping to enhance women's influence in public life and expanding the diversity of women in politics and government. Very timely. Now, in this capacity, she served as an advisor to the Center for American Women in Politics, managing programs for women office holders and providing resources for women of color interested in pursuing elected office. Now, Angela's government experience includes senior legislative roles in the Pennsylvania and Georgia General Assemblies, She also currently serves in her second term as a committee person for the Philadelphia Democratic Party. Now, without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Angela Bowie to introduce our panel and get us started with our discussion. Angela, take it away.
Thank you, Phil, for that introduction. I wasn't expecting all that. I appreciate it. First, I do want to say what an honor it is for us to speak with you all today to kind of share our insights, best practices, resources on taking care of your customers, no matter the industry. We look forward to an engaging conversation, and we hope that you come away with a helpful set of tools to help elevate your businesses to the next level. But secondly, I do want to thank Phil for reaching out to us about doing this webinar and for all the support that the U.S. Black Chambers has given to Arise as we work really aggressively over the past year to educate lawmakers on the Hill about our company, about our business model, the critical role of flexible work for so many in our community. And you've been wonderful validators and partners in this effort, and we are incredibly grateful to the USBC. And what's more, we really value opportunities like this to tell the story of Arise and why we are a leader at the intersection of customer experience and flexibility, really fostering opportunities for entrepreneurial growth, particularly in underserved communities. So just wanted to give you a bit of an overview about Arise. Arise was founded in 1994 as a technology company providing a digital platform that enables small businesses to provide customer support services to large companies on a flexible work from home basis. So from the beginning, our mission has really been to increase connectivity between these small businesses and large enterprise clients by creating, freedom, choice, and flexibility in individual work opportunities. So by staying committed to that mission for over 30 years, we've grown to provide technology services to thousands of small businesses that allow them to connect with and provide services to some of America's most recognizable brands. Our platform is really the optimal solution for large companies, large organizations such as Carnival Cruise Lines, Dick's Sporting Goods, looking for a partner that delivers the most rapid response to the inevitable waves in customer experience. And then we Arise contracts directly with entrepreneurs and small businesses. We call them service partners. And many of them in turn contract with one or more agents to perform customer support services on the Arise platform from their own physical spaces. We are lucky to have a very experienced and dedicated network of service partners. 80% of our businesses are minority owned. We've really set the standard for remote work since our inception and are really supported by the technological innovations that drive the platform. And our clients in turn benefit from our collaborative operating model and our cost-effective solutions for customer experience delivery, which is, kind of powered by what we believe is real cutting-edge technology. So just wanted to give you a bit of an overview there and just touching upon what some of Phil's comments and kind of what I gave, an overview that I gave here. Would really love to get a sense from you guys of what you're hoping to kind of get out of this session. We obviously have, important points that we think that you will benefit from, but if you guys could just, maybe you could just drop in the chat, just what you hope to kind of leave this session with. So we do want to make sure that we are addressing the biggest kind of concerns and observations that you guys have around this issue. Okay, just looking here. Okay, is there a pipeline of business can be put into streamline customer service needs to the Arise platform while scaling? Okay, that's something we can go over. And then, okay. Well, while we're still kind of, while folks are still putting those in the session, I want to introduce my colleagues from Arise. Again, I am the Vice President of Public Policy at Arise, and I'm going to be moderating the webinar. I've been at Arise for about 1.5 years, and I would say kind of the best part of my job is getting to travel around the country and meet our business community. They are truly inspirational and a constant reminder of why we do this. Joining me is Laywa Allen. She's our Senior Manager of Customer Success at Arise, and Tavares TJ Johnson, Manager of Customer Success at Arise. So Laywa, I don't want you to maybe just give like a quick overview, tell everybody about yourself.
Hi, my name is Laywa Fennell. I work in customer success at Arise. I have been in this space for almost 20 years. I really enjoy helping businesses win, be successful, I put on my customer service hat, work with my teams, and then fire away. In my personal life, I am a mother, a wife, an interior decorator, a party planner with a few other talents under my sleeve. And I'm just hoping that today's conversation is insightful, it's empowering, and it's helpful. The customer experience is fundamental. It's a fundamental part of every business. So I really appreciate you guys for giving us the time to share our expertise in this space, and hope that you walk away with something great.
All right, and I guess I'll go ahead and introduce myself. I am a customer success manager at The Rise. Been here for 2 years in that space. I've actually had service experience since 2008, having customer service jobs as being a gas station clerk, all the way up to being a customer success manager. I too myself have been a small business owner. I actually was on the platform for Arise as a service partners owner, having different employees under my belt as well from my local and some of my friends. So I do want to go ahead and, hope that I provide any customer experience, knowledge that I do have, so you guys can go ahead and build your business.
Excellent. Thanks, Layla. Thanks, TJ. Appreciate it. So, want to give a little bit of an overview of what we're going to be covering today. So, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics has been reporting that about a third of new businesses close within their first 2 years and half exit within the first 5 years. For Black businesses, the margin is even slimmer. 8 out of 10 Black-owned businesses fail within the first 18 months, according to a Bloomberg report. So why is that, and how do we overcome it? So today we're going to take a closer look at some of the challenges faced by small Black-owned businesses. And more importantly, we're going to discuss kind of how to overcome those challenges with a focus on the customer experience. This includes how to prioritize customer service excellence, the use of technology and innovation, the value of building strong connection. So we really want to kind of touch on all of these as really important components of the customer experience. So with that being said, would love to do another kind of short poll of the audience and just ask kind of what do you see as some of the biggest challenges that small business owners are facing today, or just a challenge that you find for yourself as a small business owner? And we can just drop those in the chat, and we can kind of try and address some of those issues. Yeah, staffing, of course, accessing capital. Yeah, these are all completely like spot on. So I guess kind of my first question would be for Laiwa. So from your knowledge and experience with the service partners on the Arise platform, do you believe kind of, what folks are saying here, capital, staffing, what folks are sharing as some of the biggest challenges that Black business owners are facing today?
So I'm really happy. I'm not happy to see the challenges that you guys are seeing, but I'm happy to see that we're kind of on the same page in terms of like what these challenges are, right? Access to capital, having enough an opportunity to secure loans, investments. And that just kind of ties right into financial stability, right? Can you access enough capital in order for you to stabilize your business? I'm sure that there's still some opportunities in terms of discrimination, just ongoing things, potential bias from clients. I saw someone, post unrealistic expectations from their customer base, some things that may be an opportunity for you to grow your business. And then, of course, there also are technological barriers, limited access to advanced technology, even the knowledge of how to use the necessary tools. I saw someone earlier, or a couple of people actually post that they wanted to be able to take away some things about, transitioning to AI, but not having the information available. I also saw skills, workforce issues, difficulty attracting and retaining the skilled, employees. Small businesses are in competition with larger businesses. So those are all very, very relevant things that are happening. And those are challenges that we're seeing all over for our small businesses, unfortunately.
Right. And what that
I'm
actually
sorry
ties.
about that.
Oh,
Um,
sorry.
I was on mute there. Yeah, TJ, I just wanted to ask you, how does customer experience kind of come into play here? How does it, maybe impact all these things that language just shared?
So it actually impacts it very major. Customer experience is not just a buzzword. It's actually some of the things that we actually use here at Arise as pivotal strategy to actually improve our business from a landscape across all multiple multiple clients. Access to capital, like was said, having a great stellar customer experience that actually builds your brand, right? It gives you a reputation out there. When you have a good reputation that you are delivering a great customer experience, then investors actually want to invest in. They actually want to bet on your company, because who's going to bet on a company that has poor customer experience? That means that's a lose-lose situation. They want to make sure that you have a reputation, that you're delivering a great customer experience. That way they know that you're going to have a loyal customer base, also building your marketability. Financial stability, like she said as well. Customer experience, it can boost your sales and profitability. When you hire certain people, you want to hire people that's going to actually engage with that customer, right? If you hire someone that actually collects coins, if you sell coins, someone that's going to see a date on the bottom of that coin, they're going to be more excited to actually speak to that customer. They're going to use their experience that they have with their coin collection and say, hey, you should get that one from 1925. It has the little afro on the bottom. I don't know. Whatever their experience that they have, right? Building strong relationships with them, right? Um, with that, building a great reputation, with that customer, you're, engaging with the customer, not just about what they actually called about, but also engaging about what else is going on. Hey, how's the weather today? Hey, if they're a business owner and they're calling about you, how's your business going? What can I do to make sure that your business is going to be successful at the end of this interaction? Right? Build rapport with that customer. Building that great rapport gives a great, great reputation. And it takes away that stereotype. We all know the stereotypes, right? They have attitude, they're lazy, they don't want to do it. If you build up your agents or your representatives and you give them the empowerment to actually speak with confidence, and they will not have those stereotypes. Those things will go straight out the window. You won't have to worry about you getting a survey that says, hey, this person just didn't want to help me. They didn't have any inclination to actually resolve my issue. Sound like they were reading the script, sound like a robot. Please, I don't want to deal with this customer again. Um, Driving efficiency, technology. We've all, even with your insurance company, when you go to your insurance company website, there's a little bot that just pops up in the corner. Hey, can I help you? If you have a retail, if you're someone is shopping on your website, think about an AI bot that pops up and say, "Ooh, I see you're looking at these shoes. How about this shirt? Ooh, you see you're actually purchasing this. How about we look at some other complementary products to that?" If you're any industry that you're in, you can use a AI bot. Let's say you have a SMS. Your customers, you allow your customers to text you. In the beginning of that text message, you may want an AI bot, so that AI bot can actually drive your customer to the right representative. I don't want to talk to someone that's going to talk about my billing if I need technical support, right? And if you build this type of reputation, you're going to get more talent. People want to work for companies that actually are, dedicated to giving a great customer experience, dedicated to putting out a great service out to the world. And then let's think about Chick-fil-A, right? At the end of every interaction, what does Chick-fil-A employees say? My pleasure, right? So they have built that brand, they have built that reputation. Now you may want to go get a chicken sandwich just so you can hear my pleasure. And that my pleasure goes a long way with certain people with a certain life.
Thanks,
And a
TJ.
little, oh, wow.
So I don't know if you were, yeah, so I wanted to ask you, so when you're trying to implement an impactful customer experience program, it can be daunting, right? Even for some of these large brands that Arise supports. And thinking about our audience here today, like what's some advice you can give them to kind of get started?
So prioritizing customer experience comes from the front line with your representative. Either it's going to be face to face, it's going to be on the phone, it's going to be via email, it's going to be via SMS. You want to empower them. By empowering them, you want to set them up with good training material, not training material just when they first get onto the company, but continuous training as they go out through the company, right? So let's talk about at Arise, we have a very comprehensive training where we put our agents through, our service partners through, before they actually even jump onto the phones. Then we also put them through workshops. We have simulations where they actually have to beat the bomb. They have to figure out a issue to make sure when they're actually on that call and they get that same experience from that customer on that call, they've already been set up with that situation that they are going to just speed through that call with confidence, right? So prioritizing your training, making sure that you set up different workshops, continuous education, so that your employees actually continue to grow as they service your company. Also, personalizing the interaction, right? Try to give a tailor-made um, tailor-made interaction feel for your your audience. Whoever is your audience that is shopping with your company, give it a tailor-made. So when I call somewhere, let's say if I'm calling a, a urban outfits place, their verbiage on the phone may be a little bit different from the verbiage on the phone if I'm calling my bank. All right, I may want to hear Mr. Johnson. I want to hear that you speak in a professional tone. When you call the other place, you may hear a little bit of jargon, you may hear a little bit of slang because you're interacting, you're personalizing the interaction with that customer that's on the phone. So you have to set up your agents or employees to make sure that they are personalized their interactions with every customer that they speak to. All right. Also, our service partners. We actually, partner with them. We give them great technology across the board. We set them up with VPNs. We make sure that they have other service aids so when they actually do have time to respond back to that customer, they have all the knowledge that they need. They have articles. They have support resources for them as well to help build them up. So make sure that you set up a great personalized experience for your agent or your representative so that they are empowered to go ahead and give a great customer experience to your audience.
Great, TJ, a follow-up question here. So you talk about the importance of training and empowering employees. Because so many folks in the chat listed capital and funding as such a big challenge, how can they be successful in this area?
There are millions of free, let me say that for the people in the back, millions of free resources that are out there. There's LinkedIn, there's YouTube, there's Coursera, there's Google. Anything that you can grab from any of those resources, you can actually go ahead and set up your resource and personalize it for your audience, and then your representative, your employees, I mean, and you can empower them to give that great experience. So there's millions and millions of free resources out there. LinkedIn Learning. You guys got your little notepad, LinkedIn Learning, YouTube. So do the research. There's plenty of resources out there for you guys. I promise you.
Thanks, TJ. So let's talk a little bit about technology, because when thinking about building a program of customer service excellence, you have to give some thought to technology. At the same time, technology can be a really expensive proposition. So Leiwa, what technology tools do you see as really being important here, having the greatest ROI when it comes to building a great customer experience?
So there are a couple of options. One being to either utilize or implement a customer relationship management system. We call it a CRM, right? This would allow you to track your customer interactions, their preferences, their feedback. These systems really help businesses provide that personalized service and personalized experience that TJ was just talking about. And it really helps you to effectively follow up with your customers, right? It's one thing if a customer is reaching out to you, but it's kind of scattered, right? A lot of people type how they talk, and things might not necessarily come across to you in a way that's beneficial for you to assist your customer in that way. So having a CRM system really allows you to kind of tailor and provide that personal service to your customer. Something else that you might want to think about in terms of like technology is an omni-channel support. It really it allows your customers to shop how they want to shop, right? That may be in person, it may be online, it may be through an app or social media, and having a seamless integration between those, a few of those things or all of those things, it's really a consistent experience for your customers. And that helps along the way with, again, building your brand, your reputation, that feedback. All of those things kind of tie in once we implement some of those things from a technology standpoint. And just to give you guys some, additional like information on that, Harvard Business Review actually did, well, they're always doing research, 73% of consumers, they actually prefer shopping through more than one channel. I know for me, I will go from an ad on social media directly to the site to see if the price is the same, if it's, a little different, to see if there's anything else that I can get either at a discount, free, anything of those things. But what's most important about that call out is omnichannel customers, they actually spend more time and they spend more money on their transactions. And when I say more money, like on average, 10% more if they have options. And if they're shopping online, and 4% more if they're shopping in store. So if you're looking for technology that allows you to build, again, some financial stability that we talked about, like that kind of comes as a challenge, having an omni-channel support can, also help you. And finally, customer feedback, embracing the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's all important in terms of like how you grow your business. According to Barclays, 85% of small and medium-sized businesses say that online customers, their feedback has actually been beneficial to the business, right? You don't know what you don't know until you know it. And there are some things or some pieces about your business that you may think that, hey, this is how this is intended to be, right? But from the customer experience, it feels a little different. And it may be a really great thing, and it may be something that causes, you to say, hey, I need to look at this a bit differently, and that's okay. So those are just a couple of things, you should always gather your feedback regularly. It's really important. And that may be through surveys. It may be through reviews. It may be through direct interactions. Either way, you can use that feedback. You can use those interactions to enhance and improve products, services, customer interactions. So those are just a few things, a few ways that you can use technology and innovation to kind of build that customer experience.
Awesome. Thanks, Ayla. Just to follow up on that. So we did a little homework before the webinar, and one of the things we actually came to find out is that many business owners here today are struggling with CRMs, particularly in knowing how to identify the right tool for their business. So what are some of the things they should take into consideration when trying to make this decision?
I'm glad that you called out like take into consideration, because information, we keep hearing that we're kind of in the information phase, or information, it's everywhere and it can become too much, right? So a couple of things for you to kind of take away or think about when it comes to choosing a CRM is really, what does your business need? Right? What are the objectives? How do you want to scale? The specific features or functionalities that you need to know, as your business grows. Just for an example, do you need sales automation? Do you need customer support? Do you need marketing automation? Or do you need all of the above? Knowing those things and knowing the needs of your business, knowing, okay, here is where I am now, here is where I want to be, and really drilling into those things will help you to choose the best CRM system. And then, of course, there is integration capabilities, making it easy, right? Does it integrate seamlessly with something that you already have in place? No one wants to start from scratch all the time. And sometimes it is necessary to kind of look at the business, look at the technology, see what's working, see what's not working, and then of course adjust. But is there something that you already have in place that it already works very well, and you just want to add some technology to it to make it better, right? Those are some things that might be just your email. It may be software. It may be accounting. It may be an e-commerce system. So you really want to think about how to integrate the technology into your business. That's going to help things, make it easier for you, but also make it easier for your customers. Something that I'm not sure if small businesses think about, data protection, right? We hear about large companies and large organizations that face security challenges, and it impacts their reputation, right? If large companies are impacted by how they protect or do not protect their data, and us already kind of digging into or understanding that financial stability and capital is a challenge for small business, thinking about how you protect your customers' data is got to be at the top of mind. How you protect their interactions, how you protect their information is all really important. So given that we know that we want to enhance our reputations through the customer experience, you really want to make sure that the CRM that you are choosing has good, vigorous security measures to protect the sensitivity of your customers' data. And again, we talk about all of the we talk about technology, and I really encourage and implore you guys to also think about when you're looking for a CRM, that you're really considering something that has the necessary safeguards to safeguard your customers' information.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Leila. That's such an important point to emphasize around data protection. And then just moving on to kind of a more related issue. So when we think about improved customer experience, we think about things like Net Promoter Scores, how likely a person is to recommend your business. How important is that word of mouth for businesses?
Word of mouth is queen. I'm not even going to say it's king. Word of mouth is queen. And it can be really critical for a business. Being recommended by a customer is top tier, and it can lead to increased revenue. The London School of Economics actually calculated that a 7% increase in NPS equates to a 1% increase in revenue, right? But word of mouth is not just about customers. It's also about the relationships that you build with your community and highlighting your unique story. Someone had posted earlier, Jay Antoinette, about it being more of a laid back, relaxed environment in Arizona, right? And I think this is a really great call out on building your brand, building your relationships with your community, and highlighting your story, what makes you unique. I know that I personally shop, I have a few small businesses that I shop exclusively with, and it may be because of their mission, right? It may be because of their origin story. I almost exclusively shop with one brand for all of my candles because they're a small business, they're Black owned, they're woman owned, and they are connected to the community that I grew up in. And that means a lot. So when we're thinking about like that customer experience and building those strong connections, and even to an environment that's laid back, it's great that there are some things that are kind of they're doing in the community to help that. Your presence in the community kind of brings me to my next point. Your presence in the community, actively participating in those types of festivals, events, like those things are being present in those types of spaces. It really goes a long way. It ties you to your community. It allows you to kind of put your stamp on not just your business, but the roots of your business, right? And it can also lead to you having loyal customers who advocate for your business. Like having a customer is one thing, but having a customer that advocates for your business, I'm sure each of us knows someone that's like, oh my gosh, you got to try this. Oh my gosh, I went here and it was fantastic, right? Those are the types of experiences that you want your customer to have. How do you build those things so that you have someone that advocates for you? Those are awesome. And again, just kind of go back to highlighting your unique story. That's a great way to build connections, a great way to, again, kind of get into those roots of why you started your business, how your business impacts the community, how you as an owner or a part of that organization, how do you impact the community? How is your unique story kind of tied to that? Those are all things that will really help bring those strong connections. Authentic storytelling just kind of resonates with people, right? You can hear somebody have a conversation, it's like, or you can hear someone have a conversation and it really draws you in. And sometimes when you build those things with customers in the community, you kind of build strong connections, strong emotional connections, and those are all very simple things that help your business grow and go a long way.
Awesome. Thanks, Laiwa. Yeah, I love what you said about engaging with the local community. That's so important. I mean, I've gone to tons of events in my community, and it's often the first entree towards learning about a new business in my community. I was like, oh, I didn't know you were here. I know you down the street. You're just open. How can I help you? I'd love to promote you. Love to, post you on Facebook, because the community they want to be supportive. They want to support businesses in their community. So I think that's a wonderful, wonderful way to just kind of really, really build your brand by investing in the community. TJ, I think there's something you wanted to add here. You want to jump in?
Sure. Speaking of unique business experience, I too was a business owner myself, and I actually have reached out to other businesses. So, guys, when don't go at this alone, you know, partnering with those other businesses, they have some good practices that they actually do that, they may need some feedback from you. You may have a good practice that you do. You combine those two good practices, and you have two great business, and you're building a community. I thought TJ at one point, he graduated college. He said he's going to be the Johnson Technical Enterprise. He's going to be the biggest enterprise in the world. Yes, that was me. That was my story, and I did it. I partnered with Arise. I actually had up to 15 employees, and I partnered with them to build my company, build my business, and then also give my local friends and my family an opportunity. This is a work from home job. They actually had other jobs that they want to do. They wanted a little bit more money, right? They wanted a little bit more income that they have, where they had some flexibility. So I partnered with other IBOs. I saw someone earlier in the chat that said, how do you grow as an IBO? You grow as an IBO by reaching out to other IBOs that have grown, right? Ask them, what have they done? How do they promote their business? How do they get the great talent? How do they set that talent up to empower them to actually give a great customer experience? How do they do this? Do not go this alone. There are multiple small business. Look at the room alone that actually have some good practice that you guys can, bounce off each other. I saw someone in here that's actually an AI transition or something like that. We were talking about AIs. I don't know. Maybe you want to take down their information. Maybe they have some good information for you guys on how to build the AI. I'm just saying.
Thanks, DJ. Super helpful. Okay, so that kind of wraps up most of what we wanted to talk about. I guess at this point, we'd just like to open it up for questions. Answer anything you might have that we didn't cover. Give you guys a second.
While we wait for the Q&A to come in, Angela,
Wait. Okay, all right, great. Well, why don't we just go to the next slide? We actually have one more slide.
Okay.
We want to do some maybe kind of final thoughts. TJ, do you want to go first?
Sure. Like I said, guys, don't go at this alone. Reach out to other businesses, see how they can help you. Look, take all the information that you get here, build your CRM, review your NPS, make sure that you get that talent so that they actually can deliver a great customer experience. Delivering a great customer experience can build your business to the top. I promise you. It starts from the front line when your customer walks through that door or they call that company, because we all have heard it, hey, I just got off the phone with this company. Don't you shop there. Don't do it. You're not gonna have a great experience. Don't do it. And word of mouth is very, very strong.
Awesome.
Laiwa?
Thanks, TJ. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
just to add to that, a couple of resources. Amazon Small Business Academy provides a wealth of free resources. This is ideal for both aspiring businesses, established entrepreneurs. Those resources include live events, podcasts, on-demand classes, and then obviously a network of like-minded business professionals. The National Retail Federation, they advocate for interests of those in the retail sector. They also provide education on best practices, cutting edge research, extensive networking opportunities. For any of the medium-sized businesses, you may want to look at Arise for consulting services that may help grow your business, right? And of course, there's a myriad of resources offered right through the National Black Chamber of Commerce. So we don't want to forget them as a resource as well.
Excellent, thank you. So that's it. We thank you so much. Thank you so much, TJ, Laiwa. Very, very honored to be able to kind of speak to you, and hopefully we've been able to kind of impart some good insight, some resources to direct you to in ways that'll help elevate your business. But yeah, we would love. Okay, actually, I'm looking here and a question. Okay, where do we find customer experience workflow templates that we can test and are customized so that we don't have to reinvent the wheel? I don't know if TJ or Louis, you had any insights there.
What I would say there, you can find workflows, you can Google a workflow, you can find that. But what I would say, when you're building that workflow, don't make your employee a robot. Give them the option or give them the opportunity to give their personality on the phone, right? When you having a good experience, someone is actually engaging, that their tone is high. You can hear it that they actually are smiling on the other side of the phone. They're actually excited to help that customer. So make sure when you're building that workflow that you tell them, hey, this is a workflow, this is just a checkoff, but you please make sure you're not a robot. Don't follow the script like it's A, B, C, because we've all heard that call. What's your name? What's your account number? How can I help you? No. All right. So build that workflow and make sure that their workflow and make sure that they understand that they are not a robot. Use their own experience as well.
And just to add to that, I was actually going to say that the ChatGPT and Wordly are very easy. I mean, I saw that someone had posted that the CRM will also have those templates for you. And I would always encourage some sort of personalization. If you go back to what I was talking about earlier in terms of like what CRM, like knowing what your business is, knowing what the objectives are, and then really knowing like what you want that end game to be. We don't necessarily want to reinvent the wheel, but we might want to change the color of the wheel, or maybe that wheel has 5 spokes and we need 6, right? So even though it's there, you really want to make sure that you're there, that you're personalizing at least a portion of it so that it reflects your business. So definitely would encourage you to, a little bit of personalization there.
Great. Excellent final thoughts. Thank you both. Phil, I guess we'll hand it back over to you. It looks like we've answered all the questions in the chat.
Thank you.
More
And
come up.
there's a couple questions that I have as well. But first, let me thank you all for sharing this great, valuable information. This is the first customer service webinar that we've done in quite some time here at USBC. We know it's important not just to understand our business operations, but we have to engage and re-engage our customers and clients in order to keep our businesses and operations going. So definitely appreciate the information that you provided here today. Just a couple of quick follow-up questions, and I know that we talked about a number of different things. One of the things I want to follow up on was the omni-channel support. We talked about omni-channel earlier. Now that effectively expands the workload, right? So if I'm a restaurant and I know we've got Martha's Kitchen on the call who works in food service and events. If I'm in that service and I typically provide a brick and mortar experience, but then I take online orders, or maybe I do what do you call the where you call in and you pick it up. Doesn't that
Takeout.
effectively expand takeout, right? Right. So we saw this during COVID when many people they couldn't accept customers in their doors, so they did the takeout feature or the pickup. So how do I, if I have limited staff, how do I respond to the different types of channels that the customers are demanding out there? And that's either you, TJ, or you, Louis.
Well, depending on the omni-channel that you guys use, you want to, like I said, set up maybe a chat bot. That way it can handle those quick inquiries that come in first. And then depending on how the customer actually responds to the chat bot, it then can route them to an agent, or it may actually can resolve their issue. That way you don't have to add more manpower to go ahead and handle it, more inquiries that you're getting. So implement a chat bot, CRM have seamlessly Amazon Connect, Amazon Workspaces, you can implement into the CRM or implement to any omni-channel where it can actually handle those first inquiries and then actually route them to an actual human being, or they can resolve their issue.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for that response. And I know that we had another couple of questions that came in that kind of prompted these questions, but we also talked about word of mouth. And oftentimes we provide such great customer service that we can rely on those customers to become evangelists for us, and we don't have to pay them anything. But I wonder if you can share some creative ideas, some low cost ideas to incentivize more word of mouth, advertising uh, from our customers. Is there anything that we can do that doesn't cost a lot of money that can, maybe it's a loyalty program or something like that that our customers can use?
And I was just going to say loyalty programs are great. I feel like I'm signed up for every reward system, every loyalty program, anything that can get me points. And points is actually a really great when you're thinking about like a loyalty program, not necessarily dollars, but points that can turn into dollars. Those are always great. To make sure that you are inviting them into those conversations to give those reviews. It's always a beneficial thing. It's low cost. Nothing bothers me more than seeing a review that was given, but it's like it says that it was done through like a promotion. And it's like, I want to make sure that this is genuine, right? So I would also encourage that when you do your loyalty programs, it's just a really great way for you to do that. That it's obviously tailored to what you need, but it's not something where it would entice them to give a review that's not honest, right? That's not direct to what you need. But rewards programs are always great. Even if you were to do like one or two giveaways, if you were doing just kind of one or two giveaways for something specific, or from, let's say you wanted to do it from this date to this date, those are always fantastic. One of the things that I also see a lot of on social media is they will tell you to share, like share a post, tag a friend, like something, and then there's a reward behind that. Those are just some small things that you could do. It's like maybe a one-time reward, or if you say, okay, I'm going to have a budget of maybe $500, $10, $20 to spend on this, and do that and kind of chop that up, right? Referral program would be great between customers and engage them. And it also helps with your engagement through, if you have, and I'm sure everyone does, their social media presence as well.
Mhm. Awesome response there. And I see some comments in the chat. Laiwa is on point. And also, they expanded and talked about knowing your goal, knowing your audience. You talked about surveys earlier. The survey is not just an opportunity to capture feedback, but it's also an opportunity to learn more about our customers. What type of information should we also look to gather from our customers so that we can better learn more about them?
Depending on your business, I would encourage you to have questions in your survey in terms of like, first, is this their like their preferred like whatever the product is, right? Is this their preferred? Do they shop in other places? You want to know, if possible, their age so that you can kind of begin to gather information on what's liked by age. Some of those, this is just a couple of things off the top of mind from a survey perspective, just to kind of get to know your customer and also give them an opportunity just for like an open communication. Surveys are based on questions. If there is an opportunity or like a link, not a link, but a box for them to just openly talk through some of their thoughts, any other advice that you have, just like a little box that asks them to give you feedback openly that's not necessarily tied to a question, that will also give you information about your customers. If the customers are writing in like their thoughts and that same information is, said over and over again, then it may be something that you might want to bring into your product or take away from your product that's not necessarily in the survey that they're getting. So just giving
And I,
them an opportunity to speak openly.
and I wanted to kind of elaborate on it a little bit more, going into the NPS part of it. Asking that question, how was your experience today with the representative on the phone? Give them a, customer satisfaction question. Ask them a question, how many times have you had to contact us? If they have to contact us over and over for the same issue, it's something that we need to change or something we need to fix. Ask them, was the representative that assisted you showed a willingness to actually help? That way you can actually get feedback about your employees that are assisting the customer. Ask them, was your issue resolved? Right? These are just 4 questions we actually typically ask on every survey that we actually assist with all of our clients. And we take that data, we break it down, we go back and we come up with different solutions to drive that metric better. If that customer is giving us 3 CSAT scores and our goal is a 4.5, what are we doing wrong? What is going on with that customer experience that we need to change? Is it the script? Is it the verbiage? Is it the product? What exactly is going on that we need to change to get to our actual goal of an NPS, which everybody's goal of NPS should be a 5, right? But what do we need to do? Ask those questions that, that can drive the experience and drive your product knowledge. Drive the product that you are actually, or the service that you're presenting to that customer so it can be better.
And I'm sorry, Philip, just to add quickly into that, a lot of people don't complete surveys because they're too long. So being specific and knowing your business, knowing the information that you need to get back is so important, because you don't want to have, if I see a survey and they have more than 5 questions.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that it's specific to what you need. And again, maybe that open chat box to do that. There's a lot of information that you probably want to gather in the beginning, but your insights, your sales, your social media, those types of things, you want to gather it from the technology that you have and really allow the customer to kind of speak to the experience that they just had.
Awesome. Awesome. I got another follow-up question. Thank y'all. This is a lot of great information. I got to do this for our members. So when we talk about getting feedback, do we care about getting feedback from everyone, or do we just want to focus in on those 4 repeat customers? It just seems like I would rather spend time with my 10 most engaged customers rather than just everybody. But I'll
No, you
pause.
don't.
No?
You want those, if you only have 10 repeat customers, you need to put those 10 repeat customers to the side and go after the other ones, right? You want feedback from everyone, and then you want something to bucket that feedback that you're getting from everyone, because there should be some trends within that feedback. You want to turn those customers that are not repeat customers into repeat customers, and you're not going to get that by only paying attention to the 10.
Right.
TJ.
Also, yeah, just to go a little bit more into that. And if, the 10, there's going to be the ones that's going to promote your company, right? We need to figure out the ones that's in the middle. They're on the little ad. They're, I like them. I didn't like that last representative. Let's see exactly what are their issues so we can get them over that hump, right? And then once we get those over the hump, we can possibly focus on the angry ones. It may just be one experience, it may be multiple experience, but the ones that's right there on that brink, those are probably going to be the big bucket of customers that you have that, depends on how that day goes and how they answer that survey and the experience that they just had, if they're going to give you a good promoter score or a bad promoter score. So that's when that data analysis comes in. Find that group that's in the median of your surveys and see what a type of experience they had and improve that experience.
Awesome, awesome. TJ, right as you were saying that, I was reading Dean's comment in the chat about target audience profiles and how that's important, and finding out what their pain points are and the solutions that speak to that particular audience. So I definitely appreciate that and the comment there. Now, I do have one last question, and it's going back to Melissa Muhammad's question. And Melissa Muhammad is with Black and Global. She's one of our chamber leaders, and she represents thousands of Black-owned businesses around the globe. And she talked about the templates. And my question is, oftentimes businesses, they don't all have the same processes, right? So there's some value in kind of going through that process of developing your own customer workflow, correct? Because what works for Chick-fil-A probably won't work for Starbucks, right? So talk to us a little bit more about developing your own customer service processes that kind of work for your customers.
So I watch a lot of history, and I watch a lot of BBC. And right now they have this entire series of toys that made America, food that made America, all of these things that made America, right? And it's funny that you think about the template, because those who started it, they kind of created the template, right? And then the other businesses came after them and they maybe tweaked it, or they just said, this works, we're going to stick with it. So I think that's something for you to think about is, where are you in your industry? Is it something that this is groundbreaking? It's disturbing, right? It's something that's brand new. In that case, you're creating from scratch. You're creating that workflow based on what you need from scratch. However, if you are in a space where there are 200, 2,000 businesses that kind of are on that same page, you can go and you can pull from those to develop, and again, personalize those things that may be more specific to you. But I think you really have to know your business. You have to know your audience and say, hey, I am a leader in this space, so I may not have access to as much templates, as many things. So I kind of need to do a little bit more groundwork. Or I'm in a space that I absolutely love because I've seen other people be in this space, other businesses be successful in this space. So I'm going to kind of go in that direction, again, still with some personalization, to really build up those workflows for you.
And just to kind of add on to that, this is your baby, right? You know how to change your baby. You know how to take care of your baby, right? So when you're learning about your business, you should be able to, when you drop your baby off to someone else, you should be able to tell them exactly what you want your business to be represented, right? So your workflow, yeah, I want you to answer the call. I want you to speak their name. Do you want them to say their first name? Do you want them to call them Mr. or Ma'am? Do you want them not to say that? So you want to make sure that you build up that workflow that fits your baby, because this is your baby, right? So you know your baby best. No one else can raise your baby better than anybody else, right? So use that as your platform to build up how you want someone else to present your baby to a customer.
And that's awesome. And we'll close here in just a minute. It reminds me of a restaurant, well-known restaurant here in Houston. Uh, every day they have a line to get in this restaurant, and that line lasts all throughout their operating hours. One of the things that I noticed about them is that, even though they have this line and people, they don't seem to mind waiting. They have someone that actually goes around and they serve them with water if they're, overheated, or they have a little portable fan that they walk by and share with folks. So they found a way to make it work. And you would think that they would just expand and open another restaurant or expand and add, onto the building. but that seems to work for now. So I'm glad to hear that you can be creative as long as it's your baby. You know what works for your baby, and it still works. So I'm glad to hear that feedback from you all today. So with that, I think we're going to close it out for today. We've gone over just a little bit, but I really do have to thank the good folks at Arise for coming to share this information with our USBC chambers and our small business members. On behalf of our president, Ron Busby, our board, and our staff, I want to thank you all. This has been great. And to answer that always present question, yes, this recording will be shared with everyone. So you'll get a chance to rewatch all of the genius from TJ and Laiwa and Angela as well. So we definitely appreciate everything that was shared with us today. And we look forward to seeing you all back here very soon. Thank you all and have a great day and a great weekend. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.